This is the daily video for June 29th. Before I talk about today's work, I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about the grading, since today you are going to start seeing some assignments graded. Now, there are a little over 70 people in the course, so to put this in perspective, this puts me and the grader grading anywhere from 140 to 210 assignments every day. So, due to this volume, what I've decided to do is, first of all, I'm going to be using a general grading rubric for majority of the daily assignments in the course, and you can find that under the syllabus and other important documents, and that'll give you an idea of how each of your assignments are graded. Also, the other thing is we will not be leaving comments on each of your individual assignments. And the reason for this is if we did leave comments telling you why you missed points on each of your assignments, it would take us a very, very long time to grade because of the volume of grading. So instead, what I'm doing is this. Each day after the work is due, answer keys for all of the assignments are going to appear. So if you miss points on an assignment, what I'd like you to do is go and compare your assignment with the answer key to see where you've missed points. Now, since I'm not leaving comments for you, one thing I am going to do for you is we're going to try our very best that all of your work is going to be graded within 24 hours of when it's turned in. So you're not going to get individual comments, but you are going to get a very fast turnaround on when your assignments are graded. And so this way, if you do poorly on an assignment, you can go and you can look at the answer key, revisit the material, and find out, what you've missed. And so since this course is so fast paced, you're not going to get behind waiting on stuff to be graded. We're going to grade things very quickly in the course. So again, the take home from this is we're not going to leave individual comments on the assignments, but I am posting answer keys for everything. So if you miss points, go check the answer key. And then of course, if you don't understand after looking at the answer key why you missed points, feel free to email me and I'll take a look at the assignment and see why points were taken off or if there was a mistake. Now looking at what we're going to look at today. So as a reminder, Module 1 is all about inference. So in other words, the conclusions we reach based on the information we're given. And so on Friday, what we did was we looked at some ways that information was presented in the media or the news and how that caused incorrect inference. Today we're going to look at something a little different. We're going to do what hopefully is a review today from what you saw in your high school math classes. And if it's been a while, I've posted some review material for you. What we're going to look at today is basic statistical summaries. And so these are going to be basic summaries of data. And the reason for this is we need to have this review of basic summaries so that we can talk about the inference that we make from data eventually. And so some of the review that you're going to look at today is we're going to review what the mean is. And remember, the mean is the same thing as an average. We're going to look at the median. I've posted some notes for you. You're going to want to make sure that you print off those notes and keep them beside you because there's also going to be things in there like outliers. There's also going to be box plots, which we're not necessarily going to look at today, but you do need to know that information, which is in the notes. And the other big thing we're going to look at today are histograms and bar graphs, particularly histograms and how to draw them. Histograms give us a nice visual summary of the data, and we actually use them a lot in statistics. It's rare that, for example, I analyze data without making some sort of histogram, so it's very important that you're able to look at those and to draw those. So I've made a couple of videos for you explaining the difference between a histogram and a bar graph if it's been a while. And like I said, there's also a handout of printed notes that you're going to want to print out. Now, every time I assign this assignment, students tend to get hung up on the mechanics of actually drawing a histogram. I don't want you to feel like you have to draw this thing in Excel. If you haven't drawn a histogram in a long time, you're not used to using Excel, that's perfectly fine. Remember that you can do the work in the workbook. In other words, you can draw these histograms by hand and then submit work from the workbook pages. In order to do this, just see that document and the syllabus and other important documents and how to submit workbook pages. So if you have trouble with the computer and you're not comfortable drawing a histogram in Word or Excel or some other program, that's completely fine. You can draw these things by hand. The important thing is that you draw them correctly. So there's certain characteristics that histograms have, and you'll want to see the notes for those to make sure that your plot has all of those correct properties. I don't know how many times I've had students turn in plots and they're just in all honesty, completely wrong, and they'll tell me, oh, well, this is what Excel made, so it must be true. And that's not the case. Don't just make some plot in Excel and not understand what you're making. I would much rather you draw the thing correctly by hand than submit something that's incorrect. And I talk a little bit about that in one of the review videos. I show you a couple of histograms that students have made that are just completely wrong, and they're actually taken from an assignment that you'll do later on in the course. So I'll remind you of this then as well. So as always, if you have any questions, please use the discussion board. I'll be monitoring it daily and answering questions. And then also, if you see there's already some posts, take the time, read through those posts to see if your question has already been asked. And the reason I do this is, well, two reasons. So that I'm not answering the same question over and over, and you can see what other students have posted, so you all can help each other and post to other people's posts. And also, this frees up my email a lot so that I can get to your emails quicker and hopefully help you all at a pretty fast speed. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I will see you tomorrow.